your host from Tech 2027, and is my friend Nikhil as a co-host. So on this yoga day, today we are going to explain you how to do the right pose because doing the right pose is the key for success when you're doing the yoga, and how the Google algorithm can make a difference, can identify when you're doing a good pose or doing a bad pose. Isn't it, Nikhil?
That's exactly right, Raj. I was just correct. I was just practicing my correct pose at the moment. Does this look correct to you?
I think so, yeah.
But why don't we, instead of me judging whether this is correct, why don't we teach our machines to tell us whether this is correct or not? How does that sound?
That is good. That is going to be awesome. I mean, the people doing it and they're automatically identifying it.
So in this episode, guys, Raj will teach you how anyone without any deep learning or data science experience can build a computer vision model that can look at you through a camera and tell you whether you are doing the correct pose or a bad pose. So Raj, over to you, my friend. Raj is about to share his screen. Hello, friends. So now what Raj is doing is he is going to teach his computer to recognize whether he's doing a good and bad pose. So in this stage, he has to classify which classes he wants to distinguish against. Now, I think in Raj, in this case, we can put good pose versus bad pose. So this would be a very simple network to tell you whether you're doing a good pose and bad pose. And what this does is it leverages Google's PoseNet model to distinguish between poses. So what Raj is going to do now is actually give the computer some examples of a good pose. It's as simple as that. So once he hits the record button, the computer will collect various frames or snapshots of a good pose. So Raj, I think you're going to hit the record button, but shortly after Raj will do that, he will quickly get into a good pose so that the computer can accurately snapshot what a good pose looks like. So hit it, Raj. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you can see now the computer's collecting samples of what a good pose looks like. And you can see Raj has his back straight, has his hands in a namaste pose, as we Indians call it. And it's an extremely good pose. I don't see anything wrong with that. Now Raj has taught the computer, the network, what a good pose looks like. Now it's time to teach a network what a bad pose looks like. So in this case, Raj is going to do the same exact thing, but give the computer examples of what a bad pose looks like. So Raj, you're going to quickly get into a bad pose, a really bad pose. I mean, that is the worst pose I've ever seen in my life. I think Raj is going to have some serious backaches after this. Look at that, Raj. That is a really bad pose. Perfect. So the computer now has just collected 107 good pose samples and 103. So it's pretty much balanced. What we're going to do now is train the neural network to distinguish between two classes. So if you're familiar with data science, you can adjust these hyperparameters such as epochs, batch size, and learning rate. If you're not, don't worry, you can keep it as the default settings. But we're going to go for 10 epochs with a batch size of 32. So if we hit train, there we go. So you can see the model is now, by one epoch, the model has gone through all of the samples and conducted back propagation, which is a type of gradient descent learning model. So at the moment, it's already done 5 epochs within 15 seconds. That's quick. We are nearly done. And in around a couple of seconds, the network's going to be trained. And that's simply it. The model has now been trained to accurately identify a good pose versus a bad pose. So Raj, let's see a good pose. There you go. And the network has, I'll just explain to you what the output means. The network is 100% sure that what Raj is doing right now is a good pose. Now, Raj, get into a bad pose. There you go. Look at this. The network has accurately learned that this position with 100% probability is a bad pose. Back into a good pose, Raj. There you go. Now, Raj, what I want you to do is slowly move into a bad pose so we can see the network transition between the probabilities of what it thinks is a good pose and a bad pose. There you go. So you can see at this point, the network is getting slightly confused. It's just in between a good pose and a bad pose. There you go. That's it. Look, so Raj is actually, now Raj has gone fully down. You can see the network. So you can see it's just after 200 examples, we're able to teach this machine to distinguish between a good pose and a bad pose. How crazy is that, Raj? In a matter of, let's say, less than 5 minutes.
I mean, it's so awesome. I think if you see the power of the machine learning algorithms, I think they, and definitely in the field of yoga, in the field of, sometimes we all do yoga every day, and sometimes our postures are not right. So if you can train the algorithm for the right pose, and then can do it in a proper way, that is make a lot of difference in health and well-being.
Exactly.
And that's really good one. I think Nikhil, I think you guys will love it. And for more information, stay tuned. Tech 2027.
Tech 2027. Here on out, we are orbiting back into space.
Yeah.